we go.
Who's that, man?
Here we go, amigo.
It's Friday.
Yeah. They'll do it on any day of the week. That's all they know.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. This is part 2 of the fiqh of dealings between parents, children, siblings, mates, husband and wife, friends, children out of wedlock, etc. I was asked a question during the break about the example I gave when it comes to breaking ties with people, particularly when we talk about the Muslims. As Prophet said, that it's not permissible for a Muslim to disassociate, cut off, boycott, break the ties with another Muslim beyond 3 days. You have 3 days. After those 3 days, the 4th day, you have to at least give the salams. Then I gave the example of Ibn Umar, how he told his son not to throw rocks. That the Prophet prohibited throwing rocks. And the son kept throwing rocks, like we were in Yemen. Those kids throw a lot of rocks. The kids were bad as heck, man. Stone the dog, hit the back of the head with a rock. Who threw that rock? So, Ibn Umar, the narration mentioned that the son didn't stop throwing rocks. Like another occasion, you found him doing it again. Typical. Child stop, leave, and the next time you see me throwing it again, did I tell you the Prophet prohibit throwing rocks? Might put somebody's eye out. It doesn't have any benefit, doesn't prepare you for archery or sportsmanship or war or hunting. Don't do it. The Prophet said don't. So it said he ended his life boycotting the son until he died. So the question was, did other people boycott the son of Ibn Umar? And why did Ibn Umar do it and others didn't? Because the personality of Ibn Umar, he was that type of person that went to that extreme. He was that serious about religion to the point that he would take that measure with the son as it relates to disobeying or obeying the message of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And you also have the issue of Ka'b ibn Malik, the hadith in the Bukhari, where Ka'b ibn Malik and 2 or 3 other people stayed behind. They didn't go purposely to the battle of Tabuk. Tabuk was the name of the place, and it was the battle that they fought, and Ka'b didn't go, and 2, 3 other people stayed behind purposely. So Ka'b was boycotted, but this was the command by the Prophet, because it appeared that Ka'b was from amongst those people who were the munafiqeen, the hypocrites who purposely stayed back as to not participate in the fighting with the Prophet ﷺ against the enemies. So Ka'b missed out. He got left on accident while the others stayed behind, played like sick or, I don't feel well, but they really didn't want to go. So Ka'b was boycotted for 51 days until Allah sent down ayat in the Quran to clear him, to show that he was innocent. So that is different from the 3 days the Prophet mentioned of the hadith, when you have a problem with someone personally. But when the person disobeys Allah, he violates the rights of Allah, which includes not obeying the messenger, blatantly disobeying the messenger, then that's different. You could take a measurement beyond 3 days. Doesn't have to be until the person dies, doesn't have to be forever, but you could extend the boycott in that regard. We'll give you another example. Abu Bakr, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, had a cousin they got involved in the sexual allegations against Aisha, radiallahu ta'ala anha. When she got left, someone brought her back. We thought she was in the caravan because she was light. We picked it up, put it on the camel, thinking she was in it because they would normally lower it down. Person get in it and they raise it like an elevator, put it on the camel. Aisha went to use the bathroom, dropped the bracelet or the necklace that belonged to her sister Asma, and she was trying to find it, trying to look for it in the sand, and the people left and thought she was amongst them. She got left behind. There was a companion that normally he stays behind till everybody leaves and makes sure nobody ambushes the Prophet and companions from the back. And he knew Aisha before the hijab was revealed. Like, for example, you know, like how a person looks. You know, she has a round head, she has small shoulders, or she's built petite, or she's built thick, or she's short, or she's tall. You know her, like you grew up with her. You know, oh, that's Miss Jones' daughter. Oh, that's Mr. Herbert's son. You know them. Then they become Muslim. They cover up. You still say, oh yeah, I know who that is. So he knew Aisha. Although Aisha had the hijab cover everything, her face, her hands. So of course, he took her back. He didn't talk to her. He just lowered the animal, told the animal to kneel. Aisha got on and she sat sideways, not riding behind him like he was the messenger, but sideways, like you sit on the bench. Well, she was sitting on the animal that way out of respect. So, Abdullah ibn Ubay Salud, the head of the hypocrites of Medina, when he seen her riding back into Medina with that man, he spread the rumor, ooh, she was sleeping with that man. Because he wants to defame and destroy the image of our prophet. So he was jealous. As he used to be the governor of Medina, and then when the prophet came to Medina, he lost his governorship and they made the prophet the governor of Medina. So he was jealous from that point all the way till he died of the prophet. So anything to smear the prophet's name, his family, like this. So Abu Bakr had a cousin used to give charity to, was poor. Abu Bakr was rich. That cousin got caught up in the scandal. He got caught up in whispering and talking about Aisha. He took the side of people. Yeah, she probably did it. So Abu Bakr got mad and boycotted him. To the point he said, I'm not giving him no more charity. Let him suffer. That joker eat crickets, whatever. I'm not giving him a dime. I'm talking about my daughter. And Allah revealed the ayah. Allah tuhibbuna an yaghfira Allahu lakum. Do you not want Allah to forgive you? Have mercy on you? Then, forgive him. He made Tawbah. Keep giving him charity. Don't cut him off forever. So Abu Bakr started back giving him charity because that cousin made Tawbah once all of the fitna broke out and the smoke cleared. So that's an example. Boycotting somebody temporarily. Prophet boycotted Wahshi, the Qatl Hamza, the slave that Abu Sufyan, his wife, said, if you kill Hamza, bring me back his heart, I'll give you your freedom. So he was the one, and he was a good archer, one of the best. Killed Hamza. He was a captain. He was a slave. They got freed. He earned his emancipation by killing Hamza. Radiallahu ta'ala. That guy, Wahshi, was African by the way, went to Medina, accepted Islam later on. He went to the Prophet sallallahu and he said, Ya Rasulullah, he gave him the salams, told him, Labbaika, Wasa'daika, I pledge to you, I accept Islam. And then the Prophet said, okay. He said, who are you? He said, I'm Wahshi. The Prophet raised his head and looked. Because he knew his name. He knew. him the story. He told me, if you kill Hamza and cut his heart out of his body and bring me back his heart, if you got something in your hand, here's a muffin shake. He said, kill so-and-so. In fact, I hate him so much, bring me his heart. So he said, here, Shaikh, you gave me the cat's heart. So he did Hamza. So Rasulullah, looking at this guy, telling him the story. How they said if you kill Hamza, on top of that, cut his heart out and bring it back, you earn your freedom. I'll let you go. So Rasulullah looking at this guy, he's telling him the story, but he's Muslim now. Prophet can't kill him, can't tell the Sahaba he should be killed, this, that. He accepted Islam. Killed him, he was a Kafir. Now he's Muslim. So Rasulullah, he said, Garrab wajhaka anni. Garrab wajhaka anni. Get your face away from me, don't let me ever see you again. SubhanAllah. So it's this type of cutting somebody off. Abad. Until the death reaches that person. I said, okay, you accept Islam, you're Muslim, you are brother, but guess what? I don't even see you. Get the heck out of my face. You killed Hamza. One of the most beloved people to me, Hamza. So these examples, but why? Because you killed the Muslim, but this is the haqq of Allah. Whoever kills the believer, the Muslim, purposely. فَجَزَاءُهُ جَهَنَّمَ. His reward, his recompense will be the hellfire. خَالِدًا فِيهَا. It will be there forever. وَغَضِبَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ. Allah will be upset with him. وَلَعَنَهُ. And the curse of Allah will be on him. وَعَدَ لَهُ عَذَابًا عَلِيمًا. And he is promised a painful chastisement. Some scholars said that ayah it's outside of shirk, because Allah said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. Allah will not forgive if you die on major shirk. But anything else you do, Allah will forgive if you want. So they said this is from anything else other than shirk. Allah just threatens you and talks like that because the sin is so grave to kill the Muslim. Allah said, قَتَلَ الْمُؤْمِنِ مُتَعَامِدٍ في درجات ماذا كفر والشرك لأنه من حق الله من حقوقه سبحانه وتعالى. Others said it's on the level of committing kufr and shirk because the blood of the Muslim is that sacred. Meaning if you kill a Muslim intentionally, you will go to hell forever, some say. Based on that ayah. Others say no, the threat is serious. Allah will be upset with you. The curse of Allah will be on you. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he said, إِنَّمَا دَامَ الْمُؤْمِنِ حُرَمَ إِلَى اللَّهِ لَا إِنَّمَا دَامَ الْمُؤْمِنِ أَحَبَّ إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْ حُرْمَةِ الْكَعْبَةِ كما قال, that the blood of the believer is more sacred to Allah than the Kaaba. Yeah. Because if you tear the Kaaba down, then at least it's torn down. Then they can rebuild it. At most, it's destroyed forever. But if you kill the Muslim, then the purpose that we were created has been defeated. Allah created us only to worship Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these examples of boycotting, cutting off, different levels, boycotting, some of them based on the situation, parent, son. Look at the situation of Barakallahu of Ibrahim and his father. Tell them fools to be quiet.
That's outside.
Yeah, they loud as heck.
No, you can't talk to me. We don't want to.
That's all right. I will tell them.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
and then also you have like the issue of Abi Dawud. Imam Abi Dawud, rahimahullah ta'ala, from the ulama of al-hadith, boycotted his father, who was muqtada. Yeah. So you have like situations. Well, you can't boycott. But normally, when you do it more than 3 days, it's because somebody violated the right of Allah. They did something against what Allah commanded them. For example, somebody showed the khamr. Now, people have issues. People drink, smoke. So they say sometimes sociably. I don't do it all the time. I do it on the weekends sometimes. Or I do it, just to cool out. But then you have others like they all the time to the point like they like just strung out and they'll steal and rob and this and that and transgress you. Somebody like that, you gotta cut that person off until they get like themselves together because they're harming not just themselves, they're harming others. They're harming others. See. So if the harm is to others or the transgression is against the right of Allah, I mean, Allah told you not to do something, you just openly, purposely disobeying Allah over and over, then these are times and cases where people can be boycotted. But look, some people pick and choose. Like one example was given, people deem someone to be deviant. You have a Shaikh in the school, he's known, he's a person of bid'ah, but he's your Shaikh, he teaches the course. Then you have some guys you don't like from the students, and he's just like the Shaikh, he's deviant, but you don't treat the Shaikh, who's a person of innovation, like a deviant, but because you don't like the student, you treat him like a deviant. You can't pick and choose. You gotta be fair, as we mentioned at the beginning. What's the difference between the two? Why you treat this one like that and this one like that? So, this, inshallah, I hope some examples, but Allah said, "Usul khayr," rectification and fixing and making pieces better. And sometimes you can do that, other times you can't. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. Amen.
Shaykh, can we go back to the beginning? I did write down more questions, but I didn't want to take up all the time, man, because I know y'all brothers was hungry.
Alhamdulillah.
And but on the issue of a parent or a loved one inviting you to church, you're a Muslim and you practice Islam every day to the best of your ability. The reason why they're asking you to go to church with them is because they're disabled and they need help to make it there. Does that still put you in a position of being shirk?
Well, I give that example because I wanted to give that example.
Alhamdulillah.
Now, that doesn't mean that that person is being truthful.
No.
I need you to go with me, because, I'm not feeling well. Can you drive me? My car is broke, or, whatever the case. Other person might feel like, maybe you told them, I'll go with you sometime because you don't know Islam that well, or you feel, I don't want to hurt grandma's feelings. She can ask me to go to service, whatever. And this is privy to us who come from a non-Muslim background.
Right.
The people who born Muslim don't know about this. So, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, Ta'budu Allah wa la tushriku bihi shay'a. Mention the Quran again, worship Allah, and don't make shirk to Allah in any way. But amongst the means of making shirk to Allah in any way is al-wasila ila al-ghaya. Al-wasila na'am ila ma'adha al-ghaya. To what? That's something that's a means to the end. Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala said, wala yasnoon. Don't make fornication and adultery. Clear. But in the other ayah, he said, wala taqrabu zina. Don't come near fornication and adultery. So scholars use the second example, not to come near, mean the khutawat, the things that leads to it. So the shirk that's in the church, Easter, Jesus, hallelujah, this, that, shirk, but the steps to it is part of the prohibition of shirk that you should avoid.
Can I ask my other one?
Fadal.
Is Khalil gender specific? Being a Khalil.
Khalil and Khalila. It's feminine, Khalil, masculine.
Okay.
The term is synonymous. We use both ways, but if you're talking about somebody assuming that name, my name is Khalil. The lady would have said, my name is Khalil, she said, my name is Khalila. For the time I woke to make it clear.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
And finally,
Oh, finally, huh?
Yeah,
I can't. You're
I
going
can't-
$3 for $1, huh?
I don't have no medical condition, but I can't wear a pair of silk socks.
Well, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, the main ahadith and sahihah and the Bukhari and the Muslim and the books of Sunnah Sallam prohibit the issue of wearing silk. And I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but many times you say, well, I wasn't raised Islamically. I wasn't born a Muslim. Clear. That may be true. But Islam is our deen. Once you become a Muslim, Allah said, "Udkhulu fi silmi kafa." Enter it all the way. Allah said, "Afatu'minuna bi ba'd al-kitabi wa takfuruna bi ba'd." You accept part of the book and disbelieve in another part, meaning reject it. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned this prohibition for men: silk, real gold, jewelry. Well, it's a problem. The brothers like to wear the chains. Well, it's not silk, it's not gold, it's silver. But the jewelry is something Allah made for the women. And the Prophet said, يعني لعن الله الرجال تشبه النساء ولعن الله النساء يعني تشبهين بالرجال كما قال. That Allah has cursed the man who imitates the lady and has cursed the lady who imitates the man. So jewelry, even though it's silver, the guy got a big Allah in Arabic on his chest, big like Run DMC when he walked, that joint swing right and left, and he think it's sunnah because it's silver. Allah musta'an. That's shubuhat. This is misconception. To the point some Muslims are lying, and now he have earrings. Subhanallah. There's one reason why when they talk about halakul lihya or liha, shaving the beard is haram. They said because when you shave the beard, you imitate the woman. Now, you imitate the woman. And we know sometimes a woman can have like a little facial hair, but that's because she created like that. Hormone problem or hairy a little bit or whatever. And some people say, hey, that's sexy, I like a little, but the point is, women still, they have a distinct way. Even she have like some hair on her leg or small, mustache. Like Richard Price would say, oh, buddy got a mustache like this, a mustache. Still, she's a woman. She'll have a distinct stuff, so you can't imitate the woman. And from the distinctiveness of the woman, jewelry, gold. You know what I'm saying? They like these things. Allah Azza wa Jal made this in their nature. So man, he can't wear things that will imitate the women from amongst the silk. And the issue of real gold, not gold plated, gold color, the real gold, the Prophet said it's prohibited because it's exclusively for the women. Except again, if you have some skin ailment, maybe you have eczema or scabies, they used to use the silk for that, then you could, in that case,
I pay for more than